Hello and welcome to Compound Interest with me, Bill Henning. Okay, now let's have a little chat about STD. So, what is STD? Well, it's simply speed, time, and distance. Right, so we're going to deal with speed, time, and distance, and you can see there most of us know what an STD is. And the idea of this formula and presenting it in this way is to remind you of the formula. So it's speed multiplied by time equals distance. If you can remember that formula, then you'll never get a question on speed, time, and distance wrong again. Okay, so let me quickly show you how it works. Right, a car travels an average speed of 60 miles per hour. How far will it travel in 2.5 hours? Okay, and you can see there's your formula. Speed multiplied by time equals distance. So keep that in your head going forward. Now let's take the numbers from the question. Okay, because remember when you're dealing in maths, you may get complicated questions. And so in English, the words tell the story, but in maths, it's the numbers that tell the story. And if you follow the numbers in a question, okay, you'll get the outcome you want. You'll get your happy ever after. Okay, so keep that in mind. Anytime you read any question in maths, the numbers tell the story. Okay, so you can see all we're doing, you write down the formula, S times T equals D. You take the numbers from the question, okay, and slot them in where they fit within the formula. So you can see there that 60 multiplied by 2.5 equals the answer. So you get your calculator out, you do the calculation, 60 times 2.5 equals 150 miles. Makes sense. Now that is the way to calculate distance. But what if you have to calculate speed and time? Well, this is where this formula is absolutely fantastic. Okay, you just do the same as before. So let's look at a question. A truck travels 120 miles in 3 hours. What is the lorry's average speed? Again, recreate the formula S times T times D. Go to your question. Remember the numbers tell the story. Put the numbers in the part of the formula where they fit. Okay, so you can see now something multiplied by 3 equals 120. And this is the magic of maths. You don't need to think of any new formulas or different ways of doing stuff. You just do it backwards. You do a reverse calculation. So you can see 120 divided by 3 must equal 40 miles per hour. How simple is that? Now let's look at time. Okay, and you'll see how the formula works again. So again, if a plane flies at a constant speed of 600 miles per hour, how long will it take to travel 3,000 miles? Again, just simply recreate the formula S times T equals D. Use the numbers from the question to fill in the slots where they fit within the formula. And you can see from this that 600 multiplied by something equals 3,000. And to get that 3,000, again, you just work in reverse. So it's 3,000 divided by 600 gives you the answer. And the answer is 5 hours. And that's the simplest way to understand speed, time, and distance. Okay, you can now have a go for yourself. Here is a few questions you can answer. All right, so pause the video. All right, give yourself a chance to answer the questions and then see if you get it right. Okay, so how did you do? Well, let's look at the first question. If you got the answer 40 miles an hour, excellent stuff. And you can see the formula and how it works. If you got 90 miles per hour for the second one, again, brilliant work. And finally, if you got the answer of 12 miles, then you know you're using the formula correctly. So remember, the formula is STD. Okay, now we've had a little chat about an STD. Let's have a little chat about VDM. Again, it's laid out in a certain way so you can remember the formula involved. So the V means volume, the D means density, and the M means mass. Okay, so keep that in mind as we go forward. Okay, so here's the formula. Volume multiplied by density equals mass. Now let's have a look at a question. A cat has a volume of 0.04 meters cubed and a density of 980 grams per centimeter per meter cube. Now it says calculate the mass of the cat. Again, just like the SDT, you just recreate the formula. V times D equals M. And then it's just a simple case of filling in where these numbers fit within your formula. Okay, so you can see there the volume is 0.004 multiplied by 980 equals something. Okay, so you get your calculator out and you'll see that the answer is 3.92 kilograms. Now here's a little tip when you're dealing with volume, density and mass, which is different from speed, time and distance. You can see here in this part you have meters cubed in the first part, and in the second part you have kilograms and meters cubed. Now when you get two parts of that, and you can see with the cubed match, in your final answer you drop these. When anything matches you drop them. If they're different denominations then you keep them. Okay, that's the only other thing you have to remember other than the formula. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now let's look at calculating density. Okay, so here's a question. An ice cube has a mass of 10 grams and a volume of 10.9 centimeters cubed. What is the density of the ice cube to 2 decimal places? Okay, now there's your formula, never changes. V times D equals M. So you take the numbers, remember the numbers tell the story. You take the numbers from the question and slot them into where they fit within the formula. So you can see there 10.9 multiplied by something equals 10 grams. Okay, so all you do is work in reverse. 10 divided by 10.9 equals the answer. And the answer to that is 0.92 grams per centimeter cubed. And that's the 2 decimal places. But the point is you can see now that you have grams here and you have centimeters cubed, 2 different denominations. And when you get them 2 different denominations, you keep them and you present them as grams per centimeters cubed. Okay, keep that in mind. Now let's look at volume using the same formula. Okay, so a bottle of water has a density of 1000 grams per meters cubed and a mass of 0.5 kilograms. Calculate the volume of the water. Okay, again, recreate the formula. Volume times density equals mass. Okay, and take the numbers and fit them in the part of the formula that fits. So you can see something, which is volume, multiplied by 1000 equals 0.5. And to work out that, you just do it in reverse. Okay, so it's 5 divided by 1000 gives you the answer, and the answer is 0.0005 meters cubed. Now you try it, see if you've got it, okay, and try it. So again, like before, just pause the video, all right, see if you get the answers correct. So how did you do? Let's look at the answers. Now, if you got 10.5 grams per centimeters cubed to the first question, fantastic, you're on the right track. Okay, if you got 3 million or 3,704,400,000 kilograms for the second questions, then that's absolutely fantastic score, well done. And the final one, if you got 2,162 centimeters cubed, brilliant work. So if you've got all the questions right, you're on the right track to working in volume, density and mass. So well done. And that is compound measurements. Thank you.